If you have started noticing that the skin under your chin no longer looks the way it used to, there is something important you need to know. That loose skin you are calling a turkey neck may not actually be just a skin problem. And this is exactly why some of the most expensive creams, neck exercises, and tightening gadgets can leave you wondering, why am I doing all of this if my neck still looks the same? The good news is that there are things you can do, and one of them takes about 5 minutes before bed, but the 5 minutes are probably not what you think. Because if you want to improve the appearance of an aging neck, the first step is understanding what is actually changing underneath the skin. I'm Dr. Liseth Lopez, a physician trained in dermatology, and in this video, I'm going to show you the 5-minute nighttime routine I would actually recommend for an aging neck, what ingredients are worth your money, what popular treatments are overhyped, and most importantly, when a cream is enough, and when you need something that works deeper than the skin. Because there is a very important distinction between wrinkled skin, loose skin, excess fat, and platysmal bands. And treating all 4 of them the same way is one of the biggest mistakes I see. Stay until the end, because I'm also going to explain which professional treatments can actually make a visible difference when skincare is no longer enough. Let's start with something that may change the way you look at your neck. Your neck is not simply a continuation of your face. It has thinner skin, different mechanical forces, constant movement, and very little protection from the sun. And over the years, several things happen at the same time. The dermis gradually loses collagen and elastic support. The skin becomes less resilient, fat can redistribute, the tissues underneath the skin change position. And a very important muscle called the platysma becomes more visible with age. This is why 2 women of exactly the same age can have completely different looking necks. One may primarily have fine lines and pigmentation, another may have loose skin, another may have vertical bands, and another may have fullness underneath the chin. Those are not the same problem. And if you put the same cream on all 4, you shouldn't expect the same result. In fact, research on neck aging describes a combination of skin laxity, wrinkles, changes in fat distribution, loss of mandibular definition, and prominence of the platysma. So let's make this very practical. If you gently pinch the skin on your neck and it feels thin, crepey, and wrinkled, you're dealing largely with skin quality. If the skin hangs when you turn your head, we're talking about laxity. If you see vertical cords when you tense your neck, the platysma may be contributing. And if the main concern is fullness underneath the chin, that is a different target altogether. And this distinction becomes extremely important when we talk about that 5-minute routine. Because the routine can improve the quality of the skin. It cannot magically rearrange the deeper anatomy. So what should you actually do before bed? The first minute is surprisingly simple. Clean your neck. Not aggressively, not with a scrub, and definitely not with a brush that leaves your skin feeling polished and irritated. A gentle cleanser is enough. Why? Because one of the biggest mistakes people make as they get older is assuming that more stimulation means better skin. It doesn't. Your skin barrier is responsible for keeping water inside and protecting the skin from external irritants. If you repeatedly strip that barrier with harsh cleansing, excessive exfoliation, or very hot water, you're not tightening the skin, you're making it more vulnerable. And there's another reason this matters. If you're going to use an active ingredient at night, you want to apply it to clean, dry skin in a way that your skin can actually tolerate, because irritation is not a sign that an anti-aging product is working, it's a sign that your skin may be telling you to slow down. And this brings us to the ingredient that deserves much more attention than most neck tightening creams. Retinoids. If you want one topical category with real evidence behind it for photo-aged skin, retinoids are near the top of the list, and there's a reason dermatologists have been using them for decades. Retinoids influence cellular turnover, and more importantly for aging skin, can improve several clinical signs of photoaging. In clinical research, topical tretinoin has been shown to improve wrinkles, pigmentation, roughness, and other signs of photo damage, including when the neck was treated. But here's the part social media usually leaves out. Retinoids don't tighten a hanging neck like surgery, they don't remove excess skin, they don't dissolve submental fat, and they don't reposition deeper tissues. What they can do is improve the quality and appearance of the skin itself. That distinction is everything. For someone with fine horizontal lines, roughness, uneven pigmentation, and early laxity, a retinoid may be a very reasonable part of a long-term plan. For someone with substantial loose skin, applying more retinol won't suddenly transform the anatomy, And that's where people often become disappointed. They're asking a cream to do the job of a procedure. So, minute number 2 is your active treatment. If your skin tolerates it, a retinoid can be used at night. For some people, that may mean an over-the-counter retinol. For others, a prescription retinoid, such as retinoid, may be more appropriate depending on the skin and medical history. And this is one of those situations where more is absolutely not better. Start slowly. A small amount is enough. And don't forget that the neck can be more sensitive than the face. If you have never used a retinoid before, you don't need to begin by applying it every night. You can start a few nights per week and gradually increase as tolerated. If you develop persistent burning, significant redness, or peeling, that's not something you need to push through. Reduce the frequency or speak with your dermatologist. The American Academy of Dermatology also notes that retinoids can be useful for mild fine lines and wrinkles, but they can be irritating, particularly in dry or sensitive skin. And there is another detail that makes this routine much more effective. You cannot spend 5 minutes repairing your neck at night and then spend 6 hours exposing it to ultraviolet radiation during the day. That brings us to the step most people underestimate. Minute 3 is moisturizer. And no, your moisturizer doesn't need to be an exotic neck cream. In many cases, a well-formulated moisturizer containing ingredients such as glycerin, hyaluronic acid, or ceramides can help improve hydration and make fine lines look less pronounced. Think about a dry sponge. When it is completely dehydrated, every crease becomes more visible. Add water, and the surface becomes smoother. Your skin doesn't literally work like a sponge, of course, but the visual principle is useful. Hydrated skin reflects light differently and generally appears smoother and more supple. But moisturizer is doing something else. It can help support the skin barrier and improve tolerability when you're using an active such as a retinoid. So if your retinoid is causing dryness, the answer isn't necessarily to abandon it. Sometimes the answer is simply to modify the frequency and strengthen the rest of your routine. And this is where a lot of anti-aging routines become unnecessarily complicated. You don't need 7 products. You need the right products doing different jobs. An active, a moisturizer, and then something during the day that protects the work you've done at night. Minute 4 isn't actually at night, it's the next morning, sunscreen, and if you only remember one thing from this video, remember this. If you're concerned about neck aging, your face is not the only place that needs sunscreen. Your neck and upper chest are exposed too. The American Academy of Dermatology recommends broad-spectrum sunscreen with SPF 30 or higher, and daily sun protection is one of the most important ways to reduce premature skin aging. This is especially important because the neck is one of those areas people routinely forget. They apply sunscreen to their cheeks, maybe their forehead, maybe their nose, and then they stop at the jawline. But the skin below the jaw is still skin, and if it is repeatedly exposed to ultraviolet radiation, it is accumulating the same kind of environmental damage. So extend your sunscreen down the entire neck and onto the upper chest. And if you're outdoors for prolonged periods, reapply according to the sunscreen's directions and your exposure. This sounds boring. It doesn't have the glamour of a $700 device, but prevention rarely does. And that is precisely why it works so well. Now let's talk about the part that probably brought you here, the 5-minute exercise. You've probably seen videos telling you to tilt your head back, push your jaw forward, make exaggerated facial movements, or repeatedly stretch your neck to tighten the skin. Could these exercises strengthen certain muscles? Potentially. Could they make you feel that you're working the area? Absolutely. But there is a major leap between feeling a muscle contract and proving that an exercise removes age-related neck laxity. We do not have strong evidence that 5 minutes of nightly neck exercises can reverse established loose skin. And I don't want to promise you something simply because it sounds good in a thumbnail. There is a better way to use those 5 minutes. Use them to create a routine you can actually maintain. 1 minute cleansing, 1 minute applying your retinoid when appropriate, 1 minute moisturizing, and use the remaining time for gentle application rather than aggressive pulling, rubbing, or stretching. You can massage your moisturizer in gently if you enjoy it. It can be relaxing, but don't think of the massage as physically pulling your skin back into its youthful position. That's not how aging works. And there's an important reason I'm emphasizing this. Because if your neck laxity is significant, spending months trying increasingly aggressive home exercises may simply delay a treatment that could actually address the problem. Here's the question I want you to ask when you look in the mirror. Is my main problem the skin or everything underneath it? If the answer is primarily fine lines, rough texture, pigmentation, and mild laxity, skincare can make a meaningful difference over time. But if you have a clearly hanging neck, substantial excess skin, pronounced platysmal bands, or significant fullness under the chin, the treatment strategy changes. And this is where dermatology becomes much more interesting because we have treatments that work at different depths. One category is energy-based treatment. Depending on your anatomy and the degree of laxity, dermatologists and other qualified specialists may consider technologies such as radiofrequency or microfocused ultrasound. The basic idea is to deliver controlled energy into selected tissue planes to stimulate tissue remodeling. But again, expectations matter. These treatments are generally better suited to mild to moderate laxity than to a large amount of excess skin. If someone has significant skin redundancy, no machine is going to reproduce the result of physically removing that skin. Studies and reviews have reported improvement with several energy-based modalities, but outcomes vary by technology, patient selection, and the anatomy being treated. So when someone tells you, this machine works for everyone, that should immediately make you skeptical. The right question isn't, does radiofrequency work? The right question is radiofrequency appropriate for the specific anatomy of my neck? That is a much more useful question. Then we have injectable treatments designed not simply to add volume, but to improve skin quality and stimulate collagen remodeling. One example is calcium hydroxylapatite, or CAHA. When appropriately diluted, CAHA has been studied as a biostimulatory treatment for skin laxity, including in the neck. Clinical studies have reported improvements in neck laxity, horizontal lines, and dermal thickness, although many of these studies are relatively small and treatment protocols vary. This is important. A biostimulator is not magic collagen in a syringe. The response develops over time, and it is not appropriate for everyone. The neck is an anatomically delicate area, and injection depth, dilution, technique, patient selection, and practitioner experience matter enormously. Recent reviews continue to support potential benefits of calcium hydroxylapatite, hyaluronic acid, and poly-L-lactic acid for selected neck rejuvenation concerns, while also emphasizing limitations in the available evidence. So again, we're not talking about one universal best treatment. We're talking about matching the treatment to the problem. And here's a detail that many people don't realize. Sometimes what looks like an aging neck is actually a loss of definition between the chin, jawline, and neck. The appearance of the neck depends partly on the structures around it. Changes in facial volume, fat distribution, the jawline, the platysma, and the skin can all interact. That means treating only the loose skin may not produce the result you expect. In some patients, the most important issue is submental fullness. In others, it's platysmal prominence. In others, it's skin quality. And in some, it's a combination. That is why a good consultation should never begin with, which machine do you have? It should begin with, what exactly is causing the appearance I'm trying to change? That one question can save you an enormous amount of money. So if I had to simplify everything we've discussed into one treatment ladder, it would look like this. If your concern is mainly skin quality, start with prevention and skincare. Daily broad-spectrum sunscreen, moisturizer, and when appropriate, a retinoid. If your concern is mild to moderate laxity, your dermatologist may consider energy-based treatments or selected biostimulatory approaches. If your concern is platysmal bands, a completely different strategy may be appropriate. Neuromodulators have been used to reduce the prominence of platysmal bands in selected patients, although this requires precise knowledge of neck anatomy and injection technique. If your main concern is submental fat, treatments targeting fat may be considered. And if you have substantial excess skin and tissue laxity, surgery may ultimately provide the most dramatic correction. That isn't a failure of skincare. It's simply anatomy. A moisturizer cannot remove excess skin any more than a face wash can change the position of your jawbone. So what would I recommend if you are in your 50s and you're starting to notice your neck changing? I would not panic, and I would not buy 10 different neck tightening products. I would build a boring routine that you can maintain for years. At night, gently cleanse. Use a retinoid if appropriate and tolerated. Follow with a moisturizer. And in the morning, protect the entire neck and décolleté with broad-spectrum SPF 30 or higher. Give skincare time. Think months, not days. And if you're seeing significant laxity, despite doing the basics consistently, Don't keep buying stronger creams, hoping one of them will suddenly act like surgery. That's when an individualized dermatologic assessment becomes much more valuable. Because the goal isn't to find the strongest treatment, the goal is to find the right treatment for the structure that is actually changing, and that is perhaps the biggest lesson about aging skin. The neck doesn't suddenly become old one morning. It's the result of years of collagen loss, ultraviolet exposure, changes in skin quality, fat distribution, muscle behavior, and deeper structural changes. You can't stop every part of that process, but you can absolutely influence how your skin ages, and you don't need a complicated routine to start. 5 minutes before bed can be useful, not because 5 minutes of exercises will magically erase a turkey neck, but because 5 consistent minutes of the right skincare routine can help you protect and improve the part of the problem that skincare is actually capable of treating. And when skincare reaches its limit, that's not where the story ends. That's where the right professional treatment begins. If you found this helpful, tell me in the comments what bothers you most about your neck. Horizontal lines, loose skin, vertical bands, or fullness under the chin, because those 4 concerns may look similar in the mirror, but they are not treated the same way.